All right, guys. So we have a new Giallo. Well, it's not new, but it's newly coming out. And it's a movie that was made in 1976 that I think some of you are really going to enjoy. This one has some pretty interesting stuff in it, and I'm going to talk to you about it now. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a new movie that's actually coming out on Arrow Video called House of Laughing Windows, and it's in 4K, ultra high def. Now, first up, I want to let you guys know that I am away from home. I'm actually visiting family, and I am doing this, I brought some of my equipment with me to kind of do as much as I can. I'm shooting on my camera, and I've got my lapel mic here so that I can still continue to do work. So if this is a little bit different than you're used to, please understand. This is the story of House of Laughing Windows, and it is a 4K that was sent to me right before I left, and I wanted to get it up. MVD Entertainment sent it out to me. This is my first time actually watching this movie. This is a movie that came out in 1976. It is a movie that I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I did because of the weird, just off the beaten path Giallo style that this is. A lot of people really don't even consider it to be a Giallo, but it is just such a different one. It just really does a lot of really surprising things in it, and the atmosphere is just really very unique for a film of this type. This is a movie that is directed by Pupi Avati. Yes, P-U-P-I. And he is the guy that directed Zetter, which is the British name for the movie called Revenge of the Dead, which was a sort of a chiller. It wasn't exactly a zombie movie, as I recall. He does a really interesting job on this particular movie, which is essentially about this paint restorer. He's a guy that goes in and fixes paintings that are aged or have gotten all this stuff all over it. And he is restoring a fresco that is made by a famed local legend, Lignani, who is a guy who died of syphilis and went crazy and was painting some of these very vivid depictions of death and violence. And they somehow, I don't know why, asked him to do a painting in the church, and he did one. And it's a pretty nasty picture that this guy has to restore. And as he shows up to this town, you start to see that there's just a lot of little oddities going on here, including a small mayor who is a small person, who is actually one of the most normal ones of the bunch. But everyone in town is acting very unique and very towny and just being very secretive and looks from the corners of their eyes. And he is realizing that there's something more going on here. When one of the guys locally, who is his friend, who befriends him, tells him that there's more under the surface going on, he gets pretty upset. And something happens to him where he gets thrown out a window, and that begins the entire story. But yeah, man, this is a really good looking film. The shots that they make with the landscapes, there are a lot of wide shots, which I actually really like. You know, there's a lot of those Italian zooms, that Fulci-esque style zooms. A lot of people compare this to an Argento film, but not in the sense that it is a modern westernized version. A lot of his stuff was very westernized to fit that, United States things, some people say. And this one is much more of an, very European style movie. That is, a lot of times people compare this one to like Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling. So it's a investigation mystery that's dark, and just like the places that it goes really is some pretty dark, weird places. And the way that they do it, and the way that they have the camera work and the music and everything really just create this amazing atmosphere that is very unique to this film, that I think deserves a lot more credit than I think people have given it. And I've never seen it before, and I was kind of really taken back. Instantly, you can see when this movie starts that you're dealing with a very different film than normal. And it's not your typical black glove killer style movie, you know? It goes places that you're just not gonna really understand at first. And it may be a little bit long in the tooth before it actually kind of identifies what is going on. I mean, really, the end of the movie is where all the goods happen. And I urge you to wait to the very end to really kind of get that mystery unveiled to you. But some people may not be able to take that journey there. And, you know, it is almost a 2-hour movie, so I can understand if you are not interested in a movie like this. But if you've ever been a fan of this movie, like so many have talked about, this is one that you will not forget, I think. There's some things that happen in it that are a little dated, but it really kind of doesn't feel, it's kind of timeless in a way, because it's this old village, that classic story of Eastern Europeans sort of going to an old village where people are acting strange. There's so many movies that have been done that way that really kind of get this weird atmosphere. I also think of another movie called Alien Predator, where people are acting strange in the town, and that kind of has the same vibe, but maybe not as crazy. You know, that one gets really violent and crazy and out in the open. This one's a little bit more behind the scenes. This painter, this guy Lignani, a guy that had 2 sisters, and they went to Brazil, and one of them came back, one of them didn't, and then they sort of like went crazy, and he had syphilis, and he was talking about colors and all this other stuff, and he just started painting all this madness, and these paintings are going for a lot of money because this guy was just some fabled crazy guy who nobody liked. When you find out what happens by the end of the movie, you know, it really kind of paints that picture pun intended, all the way to the end. So I don't know, I really liked it. There's some new ingredients that are in this film. I think I would probably give this movie like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Legitimately, I'm not a huge Giallo fan, but I have seen quality Giallo films, and this is definitely up there with them. And I would say that I would rewatch this one again pretty easily, because they steep you in that odd vibe immediately. Now, I got all the extras on here. I watched quite a few of them. This is a 4K Ultra HD limited edition. It's a restoration from the camera negative, the original one from Arrow Films, at HDR10. It's restored original lossless mono Italian soundtrack, the newly translated optional English subtitles. They got a brand new audio commentary by critics Alexandra Heller Nicholas and Josh Nelson, a brand new audio commentary by critics Eugenio Ercolani and Troy Haworth, who of course are always knowledgeable. Both of them are on this. It's just one disc, by the way, just the 4K, although I think you can get this in Blu-ray if you want to. They have Painted Screams, which is a brand new feature-length documentary, which I started and I didn't finish, but it has the brother of the director, and like he was the producer, and some of the people that worked on the film that really discuss a lot of that's going on and how this film came about, because the story of it is very inspiring. These guys got kicked in the face when they made one movie, and they were like, this is shit, this is not a good movie. And then not this particular movie, but one before it. And his brother, Poopy, he said, nah, let's keep making movies. And because he did that, they ended up making this movie. They also have a La Casa es Sola, a brand new visual essay by critic Chris Alexander, who is literally just a huge fan of this movie and explains all the finer points of it. We got The Art of Suffering, a brand new visual essay by Kat Ellinger, and also Italian theatrical trailer, The Reversible Sleeve, and a double-sided folded poster featuring the original and newly commissioned artwork by Peter Strain. Plus, they give you a bound book, a collector's booklet in this, featuring new writing by Matt Rogerson, who is a buddy of mine. Fantastic writer, by the way, and reviewer, if you don't know. Been friends with him forever. He used to write on our website, as a matter of fact. So, we're pretty legit. We were at one point, at least. It also has Willow McKinley, Alexia Canas, and Anton Batel, and Stefano Basciera worked on a little article in all of that booklet there. So very cool stuff. I wish I would have gotten the booklet to read it, because I am, Matt, shout out. I love you, brother. But yeah, If you're a fan of like Alfred Hitchcock, Lucio Fulci, and Mario Bava, Dario Argento, this is one to check out. If you are okay with the slow pacing, the slow burn to the end to really pay off and do something very different, I think, for the time in 1976, this is definitely worth the watch. So give it a watch, check it out. I'll put a link down below for where you can pick up a copy for yourself. This will be coming out on December 2nd, so it'll be out very soon, so you can still pre-order right now. You might want to do it before Black Friday because everybody's going to be ordering on Black Friday. So, but I hope you don't mind this video. I am away from town, so I hope this is okay for now. I'm going to be doing quite a few more videos here as I'm out here taking care of family. So thanks for coming by, guys. Thanks MVD for sending this out and Arrow for sending this to me. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Thanks, and as always, long live the void.